It's year 2026. I was born in 1968.
Let's see what happens if we scoot back a little bit for that one.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, you see me and then half a baby doll.
That's okay. They don't need to see me.
Oh, they don't need to see. I think they'd rather see you than me.
I think they'd rather look at you.
I doubt it. But anyway.
So, welcome to Babydoll's Happy Hour. Wrangler and Babydoll's Happy. Look at the new shirt. We don't know you. Look at that. And then come over here. No. Yeah. Isn't that great? Thank you, Chris Foster.
Yes, I love this shirt.
For the new Wrangler shirt. It's beautiful.
So I came up with a theory on this because I love the design so much. So as most of you know, we are going to be 8 years sober this coming February. And back when we first met, both of our lives were a complete cluster, you know what?
Disasters.
Disaster. And you know what? I threw a lifeline in the form of a rope out to God, saying, I give up. It's all yours. Tell me where to go. So that's why I love the design of the shirt. So Chris, I haven't met you, I haven't spoken to you, but this is, wow. I love it. I can't wait to see the sweatshirt because I like to wear sweatshirts. Anyway, that's, I wear Wrangler jeans, so this is not I don't think it's a trademark issue, but I'm not trying to sell them or anything like that.
But you do wear them, and then you threw a lifeline to me, and then you used your rope to wrestle all the things that were chasing me to the ground, and that's why I called you Wrangler.
There you have it.
That's the story.
There you have it. You remember it well. So anyway.
How could I forget? You saved my life.
Let's go into, what do you want to go into? The stock market?
Stock market report.
Stock market report. We got all-time highs. The all-time intraday high was set today, and then it sold off. With the all-time closing high was set yesterday. Hi, Melissa. How are you?
There's Chris.
There's Chris. Hey,
we just
Chris.
talked about your shirt, and he loves it. Doesn't it look good on him?
Love this shirt, Chris.
Stand up a little bit.
Stand up. I'm not staying this way the whole.
No.
Okay. So anyway, back to.
Thank you to Styles That Speak. You want to have Chris Foster and Styles That Speak design and put your t-shirts together. They are professional. They are great quality.
High quality.
Very nice.
Trust me, I wear t-shirts
excellent
every day, and I'm very picky about my t-shirts.
Yes.
Some people are picky about their ties and suits like I used to be many, many moons ago.
Did you throw away those ties in the garage even?
No, they're still here. Those are Dad's ties, I think. But it doesn't matter. They're still here.
I think they're yours.
No, they're not mine. Mine are in the closet back in the corner, the far corner of the closet where they haven't seen the day of light in a long time, and I don't plan on them seeing the day of light in a long time. So, anyway, back to the stock market, all-time highs. I've been saying it for weeks, months, even the last 3 years. Set the intraday high today. It sold off after that. It happened in the morning, and then the market was complete sell mode after that, all the way till the end of the day. I expect that selling to continue, but I don't know if we're going to have our crash. There's a lot of things going on in the world. I'm sure you heard.
You've been waiting for a crash for 5 years.
Well, there's a lot of things going on in the world unless you're a complete hermit and haven't heard anything. Venezuela. The thing about that, whether you love it or hate it, I think most people agree that, you know what, if it's in the name of stopping drugs, I'm all for it. But, there's a lot more to go. So we'll see. But I think that's going to create a lot of turbulence in the energy market. I think energy prices are going down, down, down. and down. And why that is good for all of us, and they've been saying this on TV, depending on what side you're listening to. But it is a fact, a well-known fact. You make diesel, gas, and oil cheaper. And I hate saying this, by the way, because I'm in the oil and gas business. You make it cheaper, everything else should get cheaper with it. How does bread, how does anything get delivered to your grocery store? Yes, via truck. And from there, it might have came from via rail or airplane or boat, which are all fueled by diesel. You make diesel cheaper, the cost of getting the goods to the grocery shelf should go down, and there should benefit, should have an immediate benefit on the consumers like us and you all. We should see that benefit. It might take a little time to see this benefit. I don't know. But, it all starts with energy. I don't care how you look at it. You make energy inexpensive, everything else will come down. Another thing, we saw the housing market double over the last 4 years. So if you had a $300,000 house, it somehow went up to $600,000 house. You all can do the math. But the average first-time home buyer now is 40 years old. 40 years old. Think about that. Living the American dream. I just listened to Pete Hegseth on an interview, literally right before we got on here. And, the American dream used to be, especially when we were growing up, and some of you people are our age and some of you people might be younger, but for you very young people, we were thinking about getting married and having families in our early 20s and buying our first house in our 20s. Mm-hmm. We weren't thinking, I want to work for 17 years or 20 years, after high school or college, whatever it may be, so I can afford to put a down payment on a house that I'm still going to have to borrow money from at a very high interest rate. Sounds like a great plan to me. So I understand why the first-time home buyers is way up and where it's at. And matter of fact, that's if you're lucky these days. Because I'll argue that most people in their 40s, if they've never bought a house, they can't afford to buy a house right now.
I was 25 when I bought my first house.
I was 20.
I had 2 babies.
Well, I didn't have 2 babies, but I was 28, 29.
It's okay. I had them for you.
Well, I appreciate that, honey. So anyway, enough on that ranting and raving, but things are getting better. I do not, here's my argument on why the stock market I think is too high. If prices are indeed falling, guess what? Profit margins are going to fall too by most of these publicly traded companies. And I'm excluding tech. I'm only talking about consumer stocks or consumer related stocks. So I'm not seeing new all-time highs lasting forever. I think we'll have a big sell-off. I've been saying that for a while, and I think, what in the heck are you doing?
Diet Dr. Pepper.
Diet Dr. Pepper. Well, that's not out of control price-wise, but you all know what's out of control price-wise, and I think that things are going to come down and get better in our favor. Time will tell.
Dana's got all my Diet Dr. Peppers ready for me in Atlanta. Not already on ice at the church, she said.
Awesome. Let's see. The sports report. Exciting weekend coming in. If you're an NFL football team, and Melissa, shout out to Melissa, the Pittsburgh Steelers fan that beat the Baltimore Ravens the other day, which I didn't think it was possibly going to happen. And Melissa, I bet you didn't think it was going to happen until that very last play. Wow.
Doesn't he sound like a sportscaster?
But anyway,
he's such a good
congratulations. The Pittsburgh Steelers are taking on, who are they taking on? The Houston Texans. That's going to be a tough matchup. It's going to be a fun match. Both the Texans got probably the best defense in the league right now. Jacksonville Jaguars might say something about that, but they got a tough match out in the first round of the playoffs. We got 4 exciting games this weekend, or 5 exciting games, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, and 1 on Monday Night Football. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited to watch. Let's see.
Melissa's right here. Go Steelers. And she knew that was going to be wide and to the right, and she called it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I was surprised he missed it because even though he's a rookie, he's a pretty darn good kicker. And I was like, wow. But matter of fact, the Baltimore Ravens fired their coach today, who was their head coach for 18 years.
Wow.
They fired him. Time for a new change. That coach will get gobbled up. His name's John Harbaugh, brother of Jim Harbaugh, and he will get gobbled up by some team right away. He will be a head coach in the NFL next year unless he doesn't want to do it, but that's my prediction. Anyway, basketball. Season's still kind of new. Hockey, same thing. Basketball and hockey don't get real exciting for me until...
She said the Houston Texans have a tough defense.
Yeah, and I just said that too. They're probably the best defense in the league. Didn't you hear me say that?
Chris.
Anyway.
Bring who to Atlanta? Darren is coming.
Oh, have you bought my ticket, by the way?
No, we got to get your airline ticket tomorrow.
Yeah. Anyway, that'll cost me more.
You're still coming, right?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Herbo will get a job quickly.
Yes, he will.
I think I saw Tom.
Tom what?
Oh no, that was Chris. Okay, is that it, honey? That's all you got? Stock market, sports report? What?
Yeah, I don't think most people got on there for that, but anyway.
We have Melissa and Dado and Chris Foster and Lynetta.
We got all kinds of people.
And Miss Linnea, or Lene, Ashley, and Chevy 1952. I'm not sure who that is, but hello. Okay, so tonight we're talking about let them. There's this great lady named Mel Robbins, and she does this awesome podcaster. Oh, we just lost one. They like it when you talk, and then when I start talking, they're done.
Well, let them be.
Let them. This is our talk. It's similar to what I did at noon, but we can't control how people are going to act. We can't do anything about how other people are going to talk and what they're going to do. And some people are just out there exhausted, trying to people please, trying to defend themselves, trying to stand up for themselves, trying to...
I got a question.
Prove themselves.
All right, here's my first question. Why are they trying to do all that?
Exactly. There's nothing to prove. That's what we're talking about. Let them be mad. Let them throw a fit. Let them think what they're going to think. Let them be misunderstanding about you.
Yeah.
So.
Let them. Who cares?
This is your line.
I don't have any lines. I go off I go off. I'm just full.
So get your coffee, get your Cokes.
You're asking me to read something?
We're not fixing anybody tonight. That costs extra. There, I just did it for you.
Oh, that's what I'm supposed to say?
Yeah.
Oh.
We're not fixing anybody tonight. That costs extra.
I think I just did. Well, why do that? That's my question. Why
pause and let it land.
Let them gossip. Let them be mad. Let them misunderstood. Yeah, you know, that's all people that are mad at life.
Yeah.
And are trying to... if their life is, everybody knows this. If your life is not going in the right direction, which is the first thing people do, they look at people that they think their lives are seamlessly going in the right direction, and jealousy kicks in, or they're mad because how did they get so lucky and get a break and get a job and quit drinking and do this. And how come it didn't happen to me? Well, I can tell you why it didn't happen to you. It's because you didn't try. You didn't accept the fact that if you got an issue or a problem with anything, it could be, we talk about addictions quite a bit. If you got a problem with addiction, I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to fix it unless you want to help yourself first. Don't be mad at somebody because they already did it, or you know what, they're no longer a part of your drinking or whatever life. Don't be mad at them. They wanted to better their life. and the ways the Lord wanted them is guiding them, which is solving the problems. And if you're out there looking for a reason to stop your addiction, you got to want to do it yourself first. And I promise you, everybody that's gone through this process will want to help. They want to help. That's all you got to do. Anyway.
So you let them be mad. You let them misunderstand you. You let them gossip. You let them not invite you to something. You let them scroll past, not paying attention to any of your social media, what you got going on, because they don't want to. They think if they don't support you or like your posts or, encourage or anything, that you won't succeed. That's what they think. And let them think whatever they need to think. And here's another thing that happens, because that can be exhausting, trying to manage people's emotions and what they think. And, I don't want them to think this, and so I better not do this. Or, oh my gosh, what will people say if I do that? If I do this. And it's a full-time job and the pay is terrible.
And I saw that line and I kind of liked it, but you just said it. Yeah, it is. It's a full-time job and it's a needless, thankless job. If you're worried about people's emotions because you are trying to do the right things, no matter what it is, you can't worry about what people think. Matter of fact, if you're worried about people being negative to you don't need them, period. If you're trying to better your life or better someone else's life and someone over here doesn't agree with what you're doing, bye. Goodbye. Good riddance. See you later. I don't understand why people do that, but they do. They do. So, they always say, well, we were talking about sports and the coach getting fired. That coach was a coach for 18 years. You know why? Because he got a good team around him. A good team around him that thought the way he did. He had great players around him for a long, long time that bought into their systems. The people that didn't buy into his system, guess what? They were gone. They were cut. They were cut from the team. Bye-bye. Or they got traded away. Bye-bye. Hasta la vista. He was a very successful coach. He won a Super Bowl, maybe.
That's what Chris was saying. Sure. He wants you to bring him from Baltimore.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's
Chris that made the shirt. He says no.
No Harbaugh from Baltimore.
Because up here he was saying we need to bring him to Atlanta. He's talking about the coach.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? Atlanta could use him. He would be a great coach for Atlanta. He'd be a great coach for just about any team in the league. It's sad that he's leaving Baltimore, but I bet he's really not that depressed because I think he's going to get a much better job. There's a lot of talent in Baltimore. However, a lot of it's getting long in the tooth. They got free agents. They had a ton of injuries this year, which that happens in sports, unfortunately. But yeah, Atlanta has been looking for a great coach for as long as I can remember. I can't even remember the last good coach that Atlanta had. Anyway, Chris, you might know, but I can't think of one.
Melissa wants him to go to the Raiders.
The Raiders could use. There's not a team in the league that can't use him. He's that good.
Wow.
Yeah, he'll be, unless for some reason he doesn't want to go anywhere or take a year off. I don't blame him if he did. I just have a feeling that someone's going to throw a lot of money at him. And matter of fact, it's funny that you said that about Atlanta because I think Atlanta would be a great place for him. I really do. They got a lot of young talent. And, when he took over Baltimore, and I remember this, it was only 18 years ago, they had a lot of young talent, but they were perennial losers. And you know what? I think they won a Super Bowl within like 3 or 4 years of his first round. It might have even been sooner than that. I think he may have won 2, but I'm not sure. No, one for sure. But they were in the playoffs every year for the last, I don't know how long, the last 5 or 6 years for sure. And unless I'm wrong, but they got beat by Pittsburgh. Yeah, if I was the owner, I'd probably been mad about that too.
Melissa says he had a stacked team in Baltimore.
Well, yeah, but why do you have a stacked team? When you get a stacked team, it's because you got a lot of people buying into your system, and you know what? Uh, and that's how you get stacked teams. You know, the New England Patriots, Tom Brady. Everybody knows who Tom Brady is. They won 6 Super Bowls. Um, guess what? They didn't do it with the best talent.
Baltimore.
Whatever. Um, they didn't do it with the best talent. You know, they had a great quarterback. They had a good tight end. They had a better than average defense. You know, but no superstars were on that team. Randy Moss was there for 1 year, but he didn't win a Super Bowl when he was with them. You know, so that tells you how good the coaching was, and even the ownership. You know, they bought into a system, and did we lose everybody?
No, just keep talking.
They bought into a system. They executed that system, and guess what? They created a dynasty. You know, you can create your own dynasty by following, you know, similar paths. You know, put your game plan together, put your team together, and execute. It works in life. It works in life even better than sports. You know, I remember.
Keep talking.
I remember. Quit messing around. You're messing me up.
I don't know why it does that.
We got. Okay, you know, we're getting overloaded here, honey. We're getting overloaded, so our screen is flickering.
We got
on
too
and
much
off.
Holy Spirit going on over here.
Amen.
I think I need a new computer.
No, that thing is only 2 years old.
Oh no, we bought it in COVID.
Okay, 4 years old.
No, it's 5.
God, it's a
4 or 6.
display, honey. But anyway.
No, the computer is all in there. Remember that?
Okay. Anyway.
Anyways, carry on.
The time is near for a new Hewlett Packard computer. Maybe.
So you were saying?
I was saying blah 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 blah, and talking about team.
You got back on sports.
Well, you know,
that's how the folks from here say it. Baltimore.
Well, you know what? Because sports and life tie in together. You take the same application of your life and apply it the way a coach would apply it to his team.
Very good, honey. Peace happens when you stop auditioning for approval.
You know,
I was a major people pleaser, and I was very codependent, and I did this all the time. Maybe they'll like me if, maybe I'll try this, maybe I'll try this. I'll buy them something.
You didn't buy me anything.
I did.
What'd you buy?
A little battery pack for your birthday that year.
To make sure my Wi-Fi was working.
I bought you a battery pack. I remember it. It was silver.
Battery? I don't even remember.
No, you said it burnt up in your car. You probably lost it.
Battery pack for what?
Because you were always losing your car. You know, for your phone.
Oh.
It was one of those little charging things. I have bought you lots of things. Anyways, go back to the show.
Go back to the show.
You keep going back to sports. She said this guy really turned the patch around.
Yeah. And guess what? Same owner that had the same dynasty with Tom Brady. You know what? Vrabel played for the New England Patriots, so he played in that system. That owner is a smart owner. Bring back what worked. Different name, but same philosophy. Guess what? They drafted a good quarterback. Drake May is his name. You'll hear a lot of him over the next several years. He's that good. But you know what? They still don't have a real superstar on that team. They got a lot of good players that play as a team. So, you know what? And that's why they're winning. Now, yes, they had an easy schedule, but you know what? They didn't set their own schedule. So we're going to find out how good they are in the playoffs. I think they'll win this game against the Chargers, Los Angeles Chargers, who's sneaky good. I think that's going to be a very, very good game. I don't think anybody's giving the Chargers a chance, but I think they can. Chris, I'm not sure that's the answer, but anyway, we'll see about New England. And we're talking about teamwork. I guess I'm going more into sports because we kind of got into the teamwork philosophy, helping build yourself up to be a better person, not worried about what others say. You know what? All those years, New England Patriots were winning Super Bowls. Guess what? The majority of the nation did not like them. You know why? Because they were winners and they were tired of seeing the same old winners up at the top. That's what happened with people. When they see a person up at the top all the time, they get tired of seeing them and they get jealous and they go blah, 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 blah. That's all it is. It works the same. So,
well, the fans are pretty raunchy too, right? For the Patriots.
well, you know what?
But anybody that's a fan for any great team gets that way.
Yeah, I'm a Chiefs fan and they've been very, very good for the last 5-6 years. They've been to 4 Super Bowls, won 3 of them. Come on. I was rubbing it in a little bit. I was a proud Chiefs fan. They missed the playoffs this year.
It's okay, honey. It's always next year.
I'm still love football. But anyway, they'll be back next year. They got a lot of work to do. They got to replace some of the old guys and they got to get better. But anyway, that's enough about that. I do not think Matt Ryan will help, but I don't know that 100% for sure, Chris. You know what? He was a great player, that's for sure. And he took them to their only Super Bowl, I think their only Super Bowl. They should have won it. Matter of fact, they got beat by the New England Patriots in a big comeback. I remember that game very, very well because I was happy. I remember at halftime when Atlanta had that big lead, thinking I'm happy for Matt Ryan that he's going to finally win a Super Bowl, being a great quarterback that he is. Well, Tom Brady and the New England Patriots said, not so fast. And they came back and beat their ass. So that's what happened. Anyway.
Laughing at you. Okay, so I'm trying to talk about Jesus.
Yeah.
And we don't want to make decisions based on if people are going to like us or not, or if they're going to understand or not. And we don't really need closure. I don't know where this word comes from, but you don't need closure. Walking away is closure.
You know what closure
Somebody
means?
else walking away is closure.
Here's what I tell you what closure is. It's someone wanting to get the last word.
That's true.
Who cares? I can care less about your last word.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And half the time, it doesn't even matter exactly what happened or why this is. It's just that sometimes we just got to move on.
Yeah, move on.
We don't need permission to move on. And we don't need anybody's to be in agreement with us for us to listen to what God is telling us to do. This is very important. And we don't need applause while you're healing. So just let them act the way they are and just keep doing. You let them talk and you keep building you or your business, and let them have doubts, but you keep believing, and let them stay stuck, but you keep growing.
Yeah, if they don't get it, let them. Let them.
It's such a great word.
Yeah.
There's a whole podcast about this. So it doesn't make them bad. It just means they're not assigned.
Hey, I'm going to say that. You know what? That's a good line. Marriage.
Which one?
That one. You'll save your marriage a lot of stress when you stop trying to explain yourselves to everyone. And I get it because trying to figure out how to say this in a politically correct way. I've been watching politics all afternoon. God help me. I don't even know why I was doing it. I just had, and I finally stopped when I realized that I was watching the same thing after about 4 hours. It was a rerun. Of course, every day is a rerun in politics, but you know, let's say you did something that you don't think your husband's going to like, or vice versa. You know what? Unless it's something major, you really, okay, tell your husband, tell your wife about it. And if you need to talk about it, great, but it shouldn't be And I know situations are different, but it shouldn't be something that's going to ruin your day or ruin your week or ruin your life. You know,
You know what?
or before you do it, talk to them first before you do it.
You know what happens with a lot of women? They feel like they have to tell everybody everything. and you don't. We don't have to tell everybody everything.
As a guy, duh.
I know, but we real.
And this, as a guy, when I tell a woman that you don't have to explain everything to everybody, how well does that go over?
Okay, that's not the point right now. Women get stuck in thinking, well, I want to be honest. Well, I want to be honest, and so I want to tell everybody everything. It's so many things just actually don't matter.
No.
They really don't. There's just so many things that don't matter, and we don't have to have big, long discussions about all these things.
No. This is a video, right? It's being recorded because I'd come back to this little clip right there and say, honey, we don't have to have a long discussion about this.
So when you let them, you're going to sleep better, and you stop rehearsing conversations, and you stop shrinking, and you can listen to God and hear him better because you're not distracted with all this blah, blah, blah.
I agree.
And let them leaves room for God to handle what you were carrying. That's like the plate spinners that I talk about. You can't keep spinning everybody's plates. So letting them is not giving up. It's giving everything to God.
Amen. Give everything to God.
The other thing that happens, though, is sometimes when people change and grow and heal, it doesn't fit into other people's narratives anymore. And so they decide they don't like you because you changed and you grew and they didn't. And they don't like you now because you got out of your mess and they haven't.
Well, if you're...
And it's a weird jealousy thing in reverse.
So I go
it's
back.
Like reverse discrimination.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pinch you there. But anyway,
it was just my nails, honey.
I lost my train of thought.
So we can change and grow and leave where we were, and sometimes people don't like that because they're still there.
Well,
and they still feel stuck, and so they blame you.
So here's, here's where I was going with that, and I'm following what you just said there. Earlier in the show, if you want to change yourself for better, get out of an addiction or try to, help someone get out of addiction, you got to want to do it yourself for the first part. However, I think where people making mistakes, my mom said I should quit drinking, so I'm going to quit drinking. Well, yeah, you're going to try, but you're going to fail because you didn't say, I want to quit drinking.
Yeah.
And you're not doing it for people's approval of you. You're doing it to better yourself. The approval from other people will follow. It will follow. So for some people, they might not approve of what you're doing because you know what? They don't enjoy their lives, and misery loves company.
That's what, yeah.
Misery loves company. And you know what? If you're no longer part of their misery or chaos, they don't like you. They don't approve of what you're doing. Well, guess what? If they don't approve of what you're doing the right thing. That's what I'll say.
The other thing that happens that's a little weird is that sometimes when I'm helping people and you're helping them with all of their life and drinking and, all of it, and then they start to get healed and they get this, it's called the pink cloud syndrome. And they think all of a sudden they got it and they're all good and they don't like you anymore because you helped them change this giant dirty diaper. And so they don't like that you know everything about them, and it gets too close for comfort, and they decide they don't like you too. That has happened to me.
All right. All right. Move
Some
on.
people like me though.
You move on. I like Yanni.
Chris says it's jealousy. It is.
Yeah, it's full of jealousy. It's usually what it comes down
Because
to.
sometimes
Jealousy and their
we're working
ability.
hard and they're not working hard and they don't like it.
Yeah, but again, we're not doing this for approval from other people. We're doing this for approval. Yes. For the big guy. Or big gal. If God's a guy or a gal, does anybody really know?
We're not having that debate. You're watching too much politics. Actually, I saw a conversation this morning that Lisa Bevere was doing about, she was presenting this information as if she was sitting next to Jesus. Like if I'm Lisa Bevere and she's Jesus, and if there's a trans person sitting next to Jesus and he would tell them that he loves them and that he understands how it feels to be uncomfortable in your own skin because he left this whole spiritual realm to come down and let go of all his magic tricks and come and be in the flesh and be a person. And that had to be uncomfortable. Right?
Sure.
But that he loves you.
I'm afraid to say anything. TikTok might not like it.
I just went deep there. See, I can take one little thing and just way down in the caverns.
Yeah.
That's all we have for today, honey.
That's it.
That's it. Let them.
Let them.
That's the message. Let them do what they want, be what they want, go where they want, blame you for everything. You know what's going on between you and God, and you don't have to explain yourself, prove yourself, anything to anybody.
Let the naysayers be naysayers. And doesn't mean you have to listen to them.
That's right.
You just don't have to listen to them. So, Melissa, thank you for putting all that information out.
Yes, thank you, Melissa.
Learn more about Babydoll and everything
She's
we
our
do.
Moderator.
No, she does a great job.
You're doing an excellent job. Let's get off of here so she can go to bed.
Yeah, go to bed. She's getting ready for the big Steelers game.
Everybody.
So anyway,
when is that game?
I'm not sure.
Tomorrow?
No, it's Saturday.
Saturday,
Sunday, or Monday are the games. I just can't remember who's who off the top of my head. Who's playing who? I'll tell you when I build out my fantasy lineups. But anyway, folks, Happy New Year.
Monday night.
Monday night. Oh, wow. You got to wait till Monday night. Aaron Rodgers. Put it on the back of the old man. He might make it happen. You never know. You got him there.
I think it's your turn to pray for everybody.
You're the pastor here, so that's your job.
Give it a whirl.
Nope.
You're going to be like low. Heavenly Father, Holy Spirit, precious Jesus, thank you for everybody listening. Bless them in their lives. Bless them in their relationships. Bless them in their wisdom and discernment to know when to speak and when to be quiet. And that we don't have to address every conversation with every person. And to save our energy and our time and our resources for exactly what God has us here for. Bless them in their relationships. Bless them in prosperity. And bless them in every area of their lives with blessings on top of blessings that cannot be contained or measures. And Ephesians 3:20, that God will do exceedingly, abundantly, greater and more than anything that you could do on your own. We love you. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you in Atlanta.
See you in Atlanta.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.